In the latest episode of One Punch Man, we were introduced to the monster Goketsu, a dragon-level monster, which is the second highest, the highest being God. Goketsu is incredibly strong. We see him enter the tournament, revealing the monster cells, which he wants people to eat, and talking about his own backstory about how he was a martial artist, was defeated by a monster, and forced to eat the monster cells, turning him into the beast that he is now. After a few of the martial artists eat the monster cells and become incredibly strong, we see Suiryu begin to take them out one by one, and after he's defeated all of the newly transformed monsters, he takes on Goketsu. Now, Suiryu is pretty close, I'd say, to an S rank hero. Even though he's not a hero, two of the martial artists in this tournament were A rank heroes, and they were nothing compared to him, so I think it's pretty safe to say that Suiryu is an S tier. And as you'll see with this fight between Goketsu and Suiryu, dragon level monsters have the capability to beat S rank heroes, sometimes very easily. It really depends on the strength of dragons, but later on in what will be season 3, you'll see S rank heroes sometimes defeating dragon level monsters like they're nothing, and sometimes getting annihilated like they're nothing. In fact, at the end of the last episode before this, we saw Genos had been wrecked by Goketsu. So dragon isn't a fixated set of strength, but the Monster King basically has these 5 monster generals, and they are insanely strong, and they will be a huge challenge for the S rank heroes. But I digress. Suiryu fights Goketsu, and he pretty much gets completely annihilated. He can't even do any damage to Goketsu at all, finally just getting tortured mercilessly, losing his teeth, being bloodied and battered before he is saved by Saitama. Now, the episode ends right before One Punch Man goes into battle. Goketsu was asked to return back to the Monster Association because if he faced a group of S rank heroes, he probably would have lost. And so he's off in the distance. He's not there in the stadium with Saitama and the newly transformed Bakuzan. So I'm going to tell you guys what happens in the next episode of One Punch Man. This is your spoiler warning. If you don't want to be spoiled, then you feel free to turn away now. But I can tell you, you're probably going to be a little bit disappointed if you think there's going to be this huge battle between Saitama and Goketsu. Actually, there is no battle on screen. At the end, all that happens is you see Goketsu's head simply land in front of Suiryu. So One Punch Man one-punched him off screen, but in the manga, Suiryu could hear the battle going on in the distance, so presumably Goketsu was doing some crazy attacks and lots of damage before Saitama ultimately killed him. Now, here's the thing, there is a fan manga out there. A fan created the fight between One Punch Man and Goketsu, and it is amazing. There's actually a few fan mangas out there of One Punch Man, obviously very talented artists who look up to Yusuke Murata, and their art is great. There's one of Saitama vs. God that's just absolutely breathtaking. In fact, I thought it was Murata until later on I found out that it was a fan manga. I mean, the guy is just that good. In fact, I got in touch with him and asked him if I could pay him to do the manga for Demon Rush, but unfortunately he said he was just too busy at the moment. Diving into this fan manga of Saitama vs. Goketsu, I believe the original artist, he goes by Lone as an alias, Lone. I was having a little bit of trouble pinning down who the artist is, so if you guys know, if I'm incorrect with that, please let me know. I'll leave a link in the description to the source that I have now. So as it starts, both of them are just walking around the city. Goketsu is heading towards the Monster Association, and Saitama bumps into him. Saitama calls him Boketsu. I think that was like as a joke. So he says, "Are you?" He says, "I'm Saitama. I do hero work. You're strong, no?" "I see. Something like a first-class martial artist. You?" Goketsu takes no time, immediately throwing a massive kick, and One Punch Man just dodges it. Goketsu throws another kick, now he's throwing punches, and right now Saitama is just simply dodging everything before Goketsu comes in with a massive elbow, slamming Saitama into the ground there, and he's pretty much pinned down in the rocks before Goketsu throws a gigantic punch, slamming down into the city, creating an explosion, and as he pulls out, he sees that Saitama's alive, but you just see his little head popped out of the ground in the rubble there, which is actually a really funny, well-drawn picture. You can see the destruction around Goketsu from that punch. I love this artwork here. This is fan-made, guys. Incredible for fan-made work. Goketsu notices that it's quiet because, you know, where's all the monsters? Did you defeat that monkey Bakuzan? In that case, I won't hold back, and he charges in, kicking a flurry of giant rocks at Saitama. I'm not 100% sure what's happening here. It looks like the rocks are flying at him and his cape ends up over his head. I don't know if he dodged them or what. Goketsu throwing down another massive fist, and this one just sends this huge shockwave through the entire street, sending up all the rocks and everything up into the air, including Saitama there. And then Goketsu comes in for a backhand. I believe he smacks Saitama and then teleports behind him. That's what it looks like. And then I guess he's either punching him. Oh yeah, he looks like he's doing some sort of Hadouken attack. It kind of looks like Suiryu was doing some similar moves like that in the latest episode of One Punch Man as well. And this sends Saitama flying through these buildings. So he's pretty much getting his butt kicked right now. It's kind of similar to the fight with Boros, how Boros is just incredibly fast and strong, just slamming Saitama, sending through all these pillars and rocks and everything like that. That's basically what this artist imagined the fight would have gone down like, and I think that this is excellent. So it looks like he plants his foot here, and then he takes a huge swing at Saitama, and there's just a gigantic explosion, just shockwaves through the whole city, and sends Saitama into a steel beam, which stops the force, and bending the steel beam. I mean, he's got scratches and dirt all over him, so he's taking a ton of hits from Goketsu, and you see Goketsu just slowly walking up towards him. Saitama just leans down with his eyes closed and lands. And Goketsu can't believe he's still standing. He said, "Amazing. It's quite unfortunate. As strong as you are, monsterification would make you even stronger. Maybe even give you an unbreakable body. It seems your organs were minced. You can't speak." So Saitama's just standing there quietly. And Goketsu comes in with the judo chop. Judo chop. Judo chop. Fine then, die. Takes his swing, and Saitama, you can't even see his punch because it's so fast. It just blows open this giant chunk of his body here. Just blows off his head and its entire chest area. So much so that it opens the clouds. This is really beautifully done. Are you really a martial artist? You're not very cool. You just keep going on and on. So Saitama's punch, I don't think this was even a serious punch, but it was strong enough that it opened up the entire clouds and everything. So Saitama says, "I forgot I was supposed to stop that guy. A hero is punished if they aren't sharp." And with that, you see Goketsu's giant body slamming onto the ground, completely headless. And that's why we're gonna see, pretty much right after this, you see Goketsu's head land in the stadium right next to Suiryu, and he just can't even believe it. He can't believe like how strong One Punch Man is. So Goketsu is not the final boss of the season. The final boss will be Elder Centipede, which was touched on earlier in the season, but he pretty much escaped, and he will return to take on a bunch of top heroes. It's going to be a really exciting fight. Goketsu unfortunately wasn't more of a threat, but it did show you the capabilities of the Monster Association and some of the Monster King's higher generals. He has a lot of dragon level monsters in his arsenal, but his captains, the top 5, that's kind of like the Ginyu Force that he breaks out later on in season 3, are the ones to really look out for. The battles between the S-class heroes and the dragon level monsters are really, really exciting fights. They're going to be explosive when they're animated, and I really would have loved to see Goketsu fight some other S-rank heroes. The only one that he fought was Genos, and you could potentially say that Suiryu was the strength of an S-rank hero, even though he's not a hero. Overall, I really loved this episode of One Punch Man. I thought that it was definitely one of the best. Probably episode 3, I feel like was the best just because the animation between Garo and Tank Top Master was just so beautiful. But this episode had a lot of raw animation. They actually had an extra studio come in to help out, as well as some consultants, and they did a really good job with Suiryu. I think that there was a lot of character acting, there was some good martial arts. Unfortunately, the series this season is still plagued by ghosting and one-frame punches in some cases. But for the most case, it was a very enjoyable episode. Go ahead and check out CMing Lap's fan manga. I'll put the link in the description for Saitama vs. God because it is just absolutely amazing. And I'll see you guys soon for another video.
Don't go ninja, nobody don't need ninja.